Hey guys, and welcome to Mists of Pandaria Remixed. When you open up Retail World of Warcraft for Dragonflight, you will see there is a WoW Remix Mists of Pandaria. You can go ahead and click this. It'll tell you some information about what you can do, some questing, raids, new items, new mechanics, unique rewards. Like you can unlock mounts, you can unlock transmog, everything super easily with like bronze currency just by playing this. It's also a good way to level alts if you want to keep them after the event. Because after this event has ended, your character will then be turned into a normal character and stay on the realm that you make them on. But if I scroll down to the bottom over here, I have a new monk that I made. So you can just go ahead and create your character. It's almost like a seasoned character. And during this process, essentially you'll be leveling through Mists of Pandaria again, the same way you would have in the past, though it's a little different. Like the quests are the same, but the mechanics of how you play are different. The major change to this is that you're going to get a cloak early on, and this is the Cloak of Infinite Potential, and this cloak levels up, giving you, well, buffs. As you kill enemies, you can add like stats to your cloak. So if I hover over my cloak right now at level 29, you can see all the like stats that I have extra because of like things like you can kill a mob and the mob can drop like +1 versatility, and you can just have +1 versatility forever now because you killed that mob. And apart from that, gear is also very different. Gear kind of like is generally it's like the same set. Like you get the same armor every single time. Just sometimes it's maybe a higher level and it has like, you know, higher armor, and then sometimes a random stat. But they also have gem slots, right? And there's 4 types of gems that you can collect in WoW Remix. If I go ahead and I open up my bag here, you can see I've already sorted these into different groups. Like here we have cogwheel gems. Now these only go into certain types of items. For example, I think my boots here are a cogwheel gem, right? So if I go ahead and I put this here, this is going to give me the soul shape ability, and it's going to replace it in that slot over there. And I can just go keep roll for another time. And now essentially I have soul shape, which, you know, just like this, I turn into like a Volperos, like a cat thing. I don't even know which class gets this. I have no idea. Like whose spell is this? But it's basically a free spell that you can like learn. As long as you have it in your cogwheel, you have that spell to use whenever you want. Now, apart from cogwheels, we have Tinker Gems. Now, Tinker Gems are more like specific like stat text. So things that maybe like, you know, your abilities have a chance to inflict additional fire damage and horrify your enemy for 3 seconds. A few of your gear pieces will take this slot, and I have one that like drops fireballs from the sky on enemies every so often as long as I'm doing damage, and it looks pretty cool and does a lot of damage. It's like really fun. Some of these are probably going to be really overpowered. Some of them are catered more for defense, healing, and the like. It's really up to you on what you find and how you want to use it. We also then have stat gems, which are just your general prismatic gems. These are ones that you can actually like enhance them as you collect more of them. So for example, on a baseline one over here, it says like plus critical strike. But if you get 3 of these, you can turn it into a stronger one. And then it's going to have like 2 pluses, like this 2+ mastery, which if I got 3 of these, it can turn into a bigger one. For example, like I have for armor or like leech over here, I have 3 pluses. And if you obviously have 3 of those, you can upgrade them so that it's like 4+. They add an additional amount of that stat. So for example, if I look at my legs over here, I have 32 critical strike. That wasn't on this gear like to start off. It was only 26 haste. Because I have those 2 critical strike plus gems, I now have 32 crits on my legs, and I can like change what kind of stats I want. So you can give yourself specific stats. And the final gem that we can get is a meta gem. This is like so far it's like an epic quality gem that you usually find. I haven't found many of them, much like the cogwheels. These are kind of like very unique spells that can be like super strong and can like increase your DPS or the way you play immensely. Right now, I'm only able to have 1 of them at a time, and it goes into my headpiece, a kind of like a cooldown before like a boss fight or something. And speaking about boss fights, you get to do a ton of interesting stuff really early on. Of course, you have dungeons. You can even do heroic dungeons, which is also pretty cool. We have scenarios. If you recall from Mists of Pandaria, we had scenarios. And once you high enough level, or I think high enough gear, I don't know, I think I unlocked this like level 27 or 26 or something. It was like a really weird like level to unlock it. But I have Raid Finder. So I've unlocked Raid Finder for the Guardians of Mogushan and the Vault of Mysteries. So I can do both of these different raids over here. The main purpose of this game mode is honestly to collect bronze. It's like a currency that you'll be getting for pretty much everything. Like as you're playing, you're going to get chests that you can open that's going to give you bronze, and also it's going to give you a chance of like getting new items, random like buff items, you know, like potions, spells, scrolls, things that increase like, you know, different things for different amounts of times. Honestly, your bags are going to be like insanely busy, and you're going to have to figure out how to like clean it up constantly. But as you get gear that you no longer need, you have a new spell that's going to be called Unraveling Sands. And when you use this, it basically makes like a sand portal. And then when you interact with the sand portal, you basically get like, you know, like 9 sockets that you can like put gear in. This is to scrap it. Now, when you scrap gear, it's going to give you your bronze. Like it's going to give you bronze for scrapping it. So this is what you want to do. You can't sell them for gold or anything. You can only scrap them and get bronze. Bronze is like a currency that you can see alongside my gold at the bottom right there. I have almost 7,000. And keep in mind, I'm only like level 29. And you can do a lot with bronze, like some really cool things, things that you're going to want to do. Now, to preface this, in the Jade Forest, right at this location over here, there is an infinite bazaar, right? So right over here at this location, you can see it's over here on the map, like on the northern side of the Jade Forest. You can make your way to this location, and at this location, there's a ton of things that you can do. For example, you have item upgrades where I think after level 30, you can upgrade your gear into like different levels, like you can straight up just increase it. And then we also have a scrapper here who basically essentially, you know, has like weapons that I guess you can buy again and upgrade, and you can use the scrapper that's next to him if you don't want to use yours, which is only on a 1-minute cooldown. But my favorite and biggest reason I want to play Remix is because of things like this class apparel thing over here. Now, this one does require achievements, but there's one inside that's going to not require achievements. This is going to unlock transmog for different types of sets in the game. And when this character makes it back to the normal realm on your normal server, like right after Remix ends, you will unlock that transmog across all your characters in your normal retail game. So like here you can see there's the dungeon apparel. So all the different gears from dungeon, you can see here, it will warn you like this is only usable by mage, priest, warlocks. So beware when you buy it thinking that you're going to use it on any class. You're probably going to want to look at the Pythagoras dude, the heroic and mythic raid apparel. This is where the good stuff is hidden. So if you go and you look at his stuff, you can see over here, bam, you get like some crazy armor sets here that you can unlock the transmog for, and you can use this in your base game. So you don't have to like farm this in retail WoW. You can buy all of these now, and then in like 94 days, you will have them all unlocked as long as you have enough bronze to eventually have bought everything. There's also another vendor in the game that lets you buy mounts, which is pretty cool. The vendor with the mounts is going to be the Beastmaster, who is outside over here. And you can see here, you can buy a various assortment of mounts that you unlock during, you know, the, I guess, like Mists of Pandaria. Like you can get the Elegon mount, which, man, this is probably going to be something I'm going to save up for. But it does require you reach at least level 35. And it does cost a lot more than the transmog does. And you get some mounts that are super expensive, like, you know, almost 40K. But are probably worth it if you really, really, really want it, which I guess a lot of these you probably will want. So that's like a major incentive to want to play, you know, this game mode. There is dragon flying, and you can also change and customize, you know, the transformation so you can have your epic dragons, you know, that look the way that you want them instead of like the base forms, or you can just use normal flying. It's completely up to you. I mean, we're so used to flying as dragons now that it's you know, preferred. So this is a fun new experience to take on and try. You know, if you like it, that's great. I think it's really fun visiting an old, you know, expansion in this way with a character that's going to stay on my realm once it's done. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's interesting. I really like the idea behind this, and it's kind of a lot of fun. I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you think there's anything that I've left out that you think other people should know, or like a major reason why you're playing this remix mode, let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in a future video. Thanks for watching.